Okay, funny enough, YouTube is live. That's the first one. That's a rare. That's a rarity. And there is good old kick, and Twitch follows last, as always. Because why not? Is the music good? Maybe I'll make it a little bit quieter. Something like that. Maybe like that. It should just be a little bit of background music. Yeah, today's stream is really not that special, right? It's like, ooh. I mean, I wonder if anybody even watched this, but it's also for me, you know, just to go through a few things myself mentally. First of all, I want to talk about, you know, next week. So we have like Tuesday with 2 U's, I guess. Wednesday and Friday. Let's separate this stuff a little bit. And of course we have today, but you know that doesn't matter too much. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I mean, a few things about next week. In general, you know. Oh, yeah, let's make this a little bit. So in general, I mean, I have AI limit, which I still wanted to finish. I have like a document, like a little image that kind of describes the entire route. And I looked at it, I was like, you know, like crossing stuff off, and it feels like I'm like roughly 50% through the game, which to me feels kind of insane. You know, of course I had like problems, of course, with streams, and some of the streams were slower or like shorter as well. But still, you know, when I initially started to come back to streaming, like one of the rules I set myself, like I have a few rules, right? Streaming rules. One of these rules was like, isn't that indent activated? No, but it's reset everything. That's alright. And one of the rules was, you know, 2 streams max per game, right? With exceptions. And that's something I would recommend to anybody, right? If you start streaming, don't focus too much on like if you do variety streams, right? If you want to focus on one game particularly and you think, yeah, I'll have an audience there, then you know that's probably gonna help you a lot. But if you variety stream, I feel like especially in the beginning, you shouldn't focus too much on a single game, right? That's like a bit of a crutch, I would say. Because if it's a game nobody watches, right, you shouldn't just make 8 streams, which this shapes up to be, so I might finish it offline, really. It's a good game, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm 5 streams in, if maybe even 6. That's not what I wanted. You know, same with like Sekiro, but I give the Souls franchise a little bit of a pass. Same is something I would do with like Elden Ring and such if I ever stream it. You know, that was like one rule that I had. I think I have it like written down here somewhere. I mean, this entire file is a little bit unorganized. My notes. I can't necessarily show them because there's like some more private notes in there. I might have just straight up removed it at one point, but it's like, yeah, I know it anyways. Anyways, 2 streams max per game, that's like a personal rule that I have. Another one is don't focus on backlogs. Oh, on your backlog. Let's say it like this. Right, it's just it doesn't work out because sometimes you encounter a game that's just not good for streaming, as evident by some of the games I streamed. I don't follow these rules too tightly, mind you. I played Enchanted Arms. I did like 2 streams and then I was like, you know, fuck it, doesn't work out for me. And that's kind of the way going forward. I want to do it a little bit more, right? Or like, yeah, okay, like this game's, I'm like 2 streams in and this game, I'm like nowhere. I will play it in private when I have time or something like that. A problem with that is I like to, I don't like starting games and then never, you know, finishing them. Or like not finishing them like relatively quickly after I started them. So that's why I you know, get a bit hung up on these rules. But yeah, I have 3 streams today. And as I said, with Dark Souls, which is, well, let's use a dash, which is on break. I really like Dark Souls, you know, but the problem with that game is it's my comfort game. It's a game I like to play when I'm down. It's a game when I'm like, I like to play when I'm frustrated, when I'm just, you know, not motivated, when generally something is just bothering me, something is not the way it should be for me. Then I like playing this game. But in recent times, you know, I did my whole all the weapons thing, which does take a bit of a toll. And I just don't want to burn out on it, right? That's like the thing. Of course, that's a bit of a, the word career suicide is not the correct word, but it's because I don't have a career here. But it's like on YouTube, right? Dark Souls gets the most views and interaction in general. So kind of decoupling myself from that for a little while is maybe not the best move. But I generally don't make the best moves. I have to hurry up a little bit. Simply because, you know, I have work tomorrow and it's like late already. I just want to quickly do the stream. I want to do it yesterday, but I always get like distracted by stuff. There's like so much I want to do, right? I'm currently going through my C book again, trying to learn that, because there's some stuff I want to do there, right? But I don't want to necessarily attach that to Yaku. That's like a lot of things. Like I have a few things going on right now, right? I have like Yaku, I have one thing that's like, also like I have like 4 like YouTube content creation things going on, like in the video sphere. And I don't want to connect any of them. There's a plan with one of them, mind you, but this is like the long con, you could say, if it ever works out. It starts to like it doesn't show fruit, but you know when you plant like a seed and then like it sprouts and it has like a little leaf and you think like, oh yeah, there's a chance this plant is about to grow into a fucking tree and that tree will bear fruit. But it takes a long time for a sapling to go from to a tree that bears fruit, right? When you like plant a lemon tree, it takes 3 years until you get the first lemon, and these lemons are fucking tiny. That's roughly what this is currently. These projects, but I always keep them separated, and each one of these projects takes time. And as I said, I want to get really back into programming because I can't really do it at work anymore, because I too rarely get into work. Of course, there's a lot of time as well you want to spend on coding. I try to, you know, once I'm a bit more into it, a bit more through the beginning section, I'm just going through everything. Like I know programming stuff. Some of the stuff I encounter is like, oh yeah, you know, I just need to figure out how C does it compared to what I'm usually used to, or what I was used to. It's not too different, right? A pro tip from someone who has been learning programming: when you learn programming, you don't learn a language. So don't focus too much on that. But I want to get into C for various projects that I have in mind. But of course these also take time, and then something I want to do for a long time is both like more artistically like get into drawing and 3D modeling. As you can see, my model, which not made by myself, mind you. There's a lot I can improve, right? The model I can improve, the code I can improve, the software I can improve, and the hardware, the trackers I use, I can improve those. I found some modules that might be a bit more promising than the other. I tried the B&O 055. I think mine is like broken, or it's like hard. It's weird to access this. This is just one that seems to be a bit more promising. That's just what I'm trying to say here. So I have like all these things going on, right? And there's like one more YouTube thing I want to do, but that shouldn't eat too much time. Yeah, that one will not eat too much time once I actually start it. I just haven't sat down yet. Of course, the thing that has been lacking the most for me, which has been sitting a bit on me, is content. I'm gonna go get that into that in a second. So anyway, it's Tuesday, Friday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. So what I'm gonna do is Tuesday, which is, you know, tomorrow. So I have to think about it still. I'm not necessarily gonna do the thumbnail and upgrades like the schedule below. I might put up like a, you know, work in progress or something like that in there. But I want to do like one more AI limit stream where like really power through, like really bam. Maybe on Tuesday when I come home, try to immediately go to the store after work, grab something to like eat, grab something to drink, and just like sit down and play AI limit from start to finish, like feed with my cats and everything, of course, beforehand. So I think AI limit, and this is potentially the last stream. Then Wednesday is of course now free again. I will talk about this when I'm getting to the structure section. So Wednesday, I have a bunch of games that I want to play, of course, always. A few console games as well, a few PC games. I just recently, what was it called? It's like a shorter game. I think I'm gonna do that. Is Manifold Garden. That's what I want to check out. It's like a game I saw for the longest time. It looks kind of cool. It reminds me a little bit of, like, I have no idea actually what the game is about. I just always saw it and thought it looked cool. It shows how much visuals can do for you if you make a game. But it always gave me like a anti-chamber vibes, in a way. So that's kind of neat. And of course on Friday, because AI Limit, as I said, potentially the last stream. If not, like if I play AI Limit and I'm like banging through it and I'm like almost done with the game by the end of it, like out of the remaining 50%, I beat like 30%. I'm like, okay, you know, in that case, I'm gonna finish it on Friday. So Friday's stream is a bit of a, can't promise. There's a few I want to do. Maybe Doom 64. I have to test that one out though, if it runs correctly. What else do I have? One of the first streams, like the first stream, once when I wanted to come back, was actually Postal Brain Damaged. But there was a bug with like water reflections, or like reflections in general. Everything that was like reflective was glitching out, completely spazzing out, not just glitching. It was unwatchable. Or like, even I couldn't look at it, and I was the one playing it. So it was pure eye cancer. So maybe I check that out if that has been fixed with recent Proton versions. And of course, you know, I have a bunch of boomer shooters that I want to play. I just did something weird. I also want to play Deus Ex Invisible War, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get it working. So I'm not sure if I will do that within the next few weeks or months. I might at one point, like during a vacation, like sit down and try to get it working, and once I get it working, I'm like, yeah, that's next stream, but that's not gonna happen this week. And of course, I have, you know, I have a few not Metroidvanias. I mean, there's also Metroidvanias here, but for this week, I'm just thinking, what can I do for Friday's stream? Something I haven't played in a long while, which I also want to play a little bit. Can't promise anything though when I will do it is World at War Zombies. There are a few maps that came out since I played it last time. And that was privately, right? Since... Good morning, Solvixen. How's it going? It's been a while since I played it privately as well. But of course, the last time I streamed it was before I took my long break. So that was... It's a fun game though. It still holds up despite it being a bit of a... Yeah, it's Activision. And they fucked something up recently, if I'm not sure. It's a while ago as well. I think you cannot no longer like create an online profile or something bullshit like that. Yeah. What else? Like there are a few games I want to play, but I'm not too sure if I want to like start them right now. This week, I mean. There are some games that are like better to play. Usually I decide all of this stuff on Sunday evening, spontaneously. But starting a new game is always like, oh, it's choice paralysis. It's like the worst. Of course I don't want to have like one game that I've played like for 8 streams, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let me play another game that takes like 50 streams to complete. That's a stupid idea. Good, dropping in, then getting breakfast. I kept missing your streams, so thought I would say hello first. Oh, you know, that's no problem. I'm glad you returned though. That's always nice to see as a streamer, I would say. Yeah, really, there's just so many good games, right? I don't think I haven't stated this on stream before, but to like friends and family, mostly friends. But they could stop making games right now, and I have enough games to last me for a lifetime. Like Dark Souls alone is a game I will probably play for another 1,000 hours. I mean, I currently have like 500 hours completed with both versions combined. But I'm easily gonna have like 1,500 or 2,000 hours by the time I die, hopefully. You never know. I was like once walking to work, and like this car with like 4 teenagers in it. They were like driving half on the walkway. I was like, yeah, this is... I could have almost been hit there. And that would have been it for Yaku. You never know. Right, in cases like that. But of course, if nothing like this happens, I'm easily gonna give myself another 4 to 60 years, something like that. Oh, Freedom Wars, I have it on the PS Vita. I've never played it, I just bought it a couple of months ago. And then they announced a remaster. I was like, I mean, I've seen it, I wanted to buy it, but there was like a controversy with like the body type and stuff like this, which I'm always like a bit... I don't like it when they change stuff. I'd rather they preserve the original as much as they can. And I always wonder, you know, what did they change anyways? I mean, it looks good, but I just... But yeah, it's also like, hey, there's so many games. So many games. But yeah, Friday. I also want to do like another Stalker run. But of course this game doesn't run too well, especially when you stream it. What are the other games you want to catch on, by the way, if I may ask? Let's see, do I have something written here? Something I might start, actually. That's one I want to play for a while now. It's a PSP game. Oh, actually, I've finished this one. And I finished this one. Yeah, that's my notes are completely outdated. I think if nothing changes, like if I decide, you know, AI limit more, I'm gonna do AI limit. Otherwise, I'm gonna do God of War Chains of Olympus. It's a PSP game. It's kind of cool. I have to check that. I actually have. I know there's like a sex game in the God of War games. I don't remember if the PSP one shows it though. I vaguely recall it. That you just see like the curtains that you hear like moaning or something like that. I have to check if that's even streamable. Otherwise, I'll just say. Otherwise. Welcome, Dabex. How are you doing? Otherwise, I'm doing this. 7 Ascent remix. I want to play that game for a while as well, because I really like the original. I'm playing Atelier Yumiya, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I got to finish Astrobot and Ratchet and Clank. Plus a bunch of little ones. I played so far only the first 2 Dusk games of Atelier. This year I still plan to just privately play the third and last one of the Dusk series. But I also want to catch up on Atelier. What am I doing? No, I'm just here to talk a bit about this week, what the schedule is. Because I'm like too tired to right now do a schedule, so I just want to quickly jolt that down. And there's just a few things that will change that I want to do potentially. But I don't know how much, you know, time I have. Well, I don't have too much time. Let's see. Yeah, maybe like 40 minutes or so left before I have to piss off. Cyber Sleuth, by the way, I played that one, the first one. I feel like it dragged too long. I was like, after like 20 hours, I was done. I was like, yeah, I don't care. I really wanted to be finished now. It just went on and on and on. I finished it, but it's a bit of a long game. And which Ratchet and Clank, by the way. I also want to finish that series personally. Twitch is a list of games you can just... Yeah, I have to check if it's on that list. So I will do it. And then, you know, some games, even if it's not on the list, it's always a bit... You know, you never know with Twitch. You love Atelier Sophie, but enjoying Yumiya a lot. I've seen nothing of Yumiya so far. Like I'm very reserved when it comes to like new games. I try to never get spoiled about anything. I've avoided most Elden Ring spoilers as well. That game is still a game I have to play. But yeah, Atelier is like one of the series I really want to catch up on. Notably, some of the more liked ones at least. Maybe not the original couple of games. Kick added channel points like in Twitch. I might check that out. I mean, I haven't personally ever used them myself, which is... I also don't really know what to do with them. Personally, I see people doing like, oh yeah, let's play like a sound or whatever. I'm like, you know, I don't like a random sounds just being played. Just a fan of that. Maybe I'll find something out. But yeah, that's this week in general. And then we come to the restructure. Let's do this a little bit like this. So just to recap, this AI limit, potentially the last one. Not sure if I will finish it on stream because I've already did a few streams of it. If it's not, like, if I'm like 25% of the way done, after that stream, of the remaining 50%, I would say, you know, maybe I'm gonna do it on Friday anyways. Then on Wednesday, Manifold Garden, and on Friday, God of War, Chains of Olympus, if I can play it. Otherwise, either Savant Ascent or, as I said, AI Limit. Yumiya is great, I think, but it's going to be long. I'm only 10 hours in and still feel early game. Yeah, I mean, usually the Atelier games aren't too long when it comes, like, for JRPGs. Gotta finish it as it specifies at the end. Did you spoil yourself? Or... I couldn't spoil myself. We'd be like, oh yeah, the best fight comes at the end. I just remember not Shally, Aisha. The time limit on that game was way too tight. That traumatized me a bit. Yeah. But yeah, the restructure, basically, schedule will look like this after this week. So we have Tuesday, we have like a 2-week like pendulum schedule. Tuesday is usually short, Wednesday I will do a medium, and Friday I will do like a longer stream. And then we have Tuesday on the second week, which will be a short again, Friday, long one, and then on Saturday, every second week, I will return to Dark Souls with a very long stream. I'm just gonna try to do like one full run per, like, bi-weekly Dark Souls, but one full run. Do it like this. I played, the end was good. I played, the end has a few good fights. Not sure where you got to now. Oh, yeah, not sure, like you're in the game. I was like a bit confused for a second there. I mean, I'm personally like, I don't spoil myself, but if I get stuck for a little bit too long, and a little bit too long is sometimes, you know, after 10 minutes of searching, I'm like, fuck it, and I pull up a walkthrough. At least these days, sometimes I'm just, I can't be bothered. There are some games where I'm like, oh no. Rarely, I'm like, oh yeah, let's walk around for like 2 hours and figure something out. Usually I'm just like within, like I mean, like in the walkthrough within within half an hour maximum. I did that with, what was it called? Enchanted Arms. I was like, where's all of this like secret stuff that I need? Was there some strategy for certain things that I want to know? But yeah, week 1 Tuesday. Something I want to do from the get-go when I returned was topic streams. But the thing with topic streams is, I just don't have too much time to research topics. So I would have to go mostly freeform, and I'm not too good of a freeform talker. But it's something I want to maybe get into, so I think, you know, with like the pendulum system, I might be able to squeeze it in, just barely. So stream, speaking of topics, I have a few here. Of course, using 2 different kind of editors that work completely differently. So the best for doing stuff. So one was like eccentric individuals. There are a few I want to check out, but it's like some of these people have just so much content to sift through. Battletech, I got a spreadsheet for the PC game. Is that the League of Legends thing? Battletech. It rings a bell. Yeah, I've seen that, but... Oh, is this like a turn-based tactics strategy? Is it like a 4X? Something like that. A little bit XCOM-y, I guess. It's a mech game. Yeah, I saw that. It's not my kind. Like this kind of game is not my kind of game. Sadly, I tried to get into 4X at one point, but I just never couldn't. And XCOM as well. Like it looks for me to me a little bit like 4X and XCOM, something like that. Not two games I'm too into, personally. Been around 30 years as a tabletop. It's like XCOM mostly. Yeah. It's not my kind of style of gameplay. I tried to get into Warhammer at one point. I was like, oh, I don't like sitting there rolling like 50 dice and then pulling out a ruler and doing shit that way. Just doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, it's like 10 dice or something like that to do all the moves, or like 20 if you play like bigger sets. It's like a friend invited me once to it. I was like, nah, and then next time he was like, yeah, okay, maybe Warhammer was too crazy for you. Come and play Risk or whatever it was, or like War Game or something like that. And I was like, you want me to play Risk? He's like, yeah, it's just gonna take like 4 hours to set up. I'm like, and we have to spread it across like 20 sessions. Like, dude, I don't even have 2 hours. Like, it takes me like an hour to get to you by train. I'm not gonna do 6-hour sessions once a week, especially physically. It uses 2 at a time. Yeah, that's much more sensible. To get quickly to that, another topic is Linux. Right, big whoop. I use Linux, so I thought maybe, you know, just do some streams where I fuck around in it. One thing I want to do was like an installation of Slackware, because personally I want to install it on my laptop anyways. So I already have like a test run I can do privately, and then already have the entire script, because I will document it for myself anyways. So that could be like something interesting to show to people that's never seen it. Another one is, that's like a big one for me, in a way. It's waste and reduction. Okay, that's a big one. It's just one of these things that I start to kind of get kind of interest about it, but something I'm like, I see it, how people behave. It's like everyone is like, yeah, you know, go and recycle. I can type, but recycle is like the worst of the 3 R's, which is reduce, reuse, and then recycle. It's like, it's so bad. That's just something I want to talk about, but I don't know if if that works for a full topic stream. Maybe a shorter one. Also, I gotta do breakfast, so you take care. Hopefully everything worked out and can do all the fun stuff. Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you. Hope you enjoy your breakfast and your day. Hopefully I see you in another stream. Oh, that one. This is gonna be basically copyright hell. Nightcore. I recently... Yeah, see ya. Goodbye, and as I said, you know, have a nice day. Nightcore. It's like I recently got recommended Nightcore again for whatever reason. I'm like, oh, this shit, I thought this shit was dead, but it's still chugging around. It's so funny. I want to potentially do like a... Like the idea I had for that topic is how it started. Let's do it all on one line. How it started, the big ones, can type, and where it's at, and future. I think that could be a very cool little stream, if I have time to research it. Then of course, we have the top 10 streams. I did the one for manga. I think that was a fantastic stream. I really liked that stream. Or should I say per manufacturer, I guess. So like top 10 anime and top 10 games, and those like per manufacturer and all of them. Something I really want to do this stream. See, the one about manga, I really like that one. It took a bit longer than I expected. Man, was that a fun stream, and I have like the image, and then it's, you know, one and done. That was a good stream. I really enjoyed that one. This one just came out today, funny enough for me. Sony shitlisting. That's something near and dear to my heart. Very near and dear to my heart. Sony, they like asked the Supreme Court, or like they won in the Supreme Court, that an ISP has to take away the internet of people that have been caught pirating. Which is the absolute most insane thing I've ever heard. Hey, you pirated our stuff, don't just pay us. Fucking, your internet is gone. You need to do e-banking, fuck you. You need to access medical records, fuck you. You have like one of these arm bracelets for, like if you have, what's it called? Diabetes, so it's like, hey, bling bling bling, you have like Internet of Things. That's is like critical, like medical stuff. Fuck you, right? It's like so bullshit. And shitlisting is like a very interesting one. One I've also already like taken a lot of notes on. See, it's probably the biggest one in my notes here. It takes up easily like 10% of the entire file. Then an OPSEC stream is something I want to do as well, but I need to do some more preparation for that as well. I have a few ideas, roughly how I would do it. Like specifically OPSEC. You know. Because I have a bit of an idea how stuff works, and you know what's good and what's not good, and how to do certain things. Because you always see people out there like, oh yeah, this thing has been going on for a while now. Let me switch to a new one. You always see like people accidentally show their desktop, and it's like, oh yeah, here's a picture of me and my address for whatever reason. It's like, oh no, my info's got revealed. It's like, yeah, I wonder why. So that could be a fun stream. These notes, yeah, that's about it for the topic streams, like some of the ideas I had, which I will try to do every first Tuesday in the bi-weekly schedule. I think that could be fun. It might not always work out, let me say it like that. So I might even full on just skip these streams. But that's the thing. Then I have sub-game and etc. That's just, you know, smaller games. Maybe games that don't have like an end, like Minecraft or Vagrant Story. I've seen Vagrant Story really pop off. I discovered that game, and there were like 2,000 or 3,000 people playing it at most. Like, or like registered on the site. Like the guy was just like putting out a thing, recently. Oh yeah, we sold like 1,000 units, and then he just did like another one a couple months later. It's like we just reached 5,000 sold units, and I was like somewhere in between. So I was like, you know, I'm probably around 3,000 units. Right, sold. You know, so stuff like that. Or like, as I said, World of War Zombies, stuff like this is what I put into sub game, or etc. etc. Whatever. You know, sometimes just lowbrow content. You know, React slop as an example. Or just reading like Reddit. Like go on certain websites to like read some of the stuff there. And as I said, you know, Friday is a main game, which is gonna be this time God of War. Can you play God of War Chains of Olympus on Twitch? Okay, seems like it's gonna be possible. So yeah, this Friday is gonna be God of War. So that's the Friday streams. If they will always work out is, you know, a bit of a debatable thing, because sometimes after Friday I'm just I'm completely fucked. Then I'm like, okay, you know, stand up, lay in bed, and I fall asleep. So, you know, sometimes I will give myself the reserve to move stuff around. But, you know, talking about games, I've here a bunch noted down which I want to do. These are not guaranteed, but some that I might want to check out if they like work out for streaming. Blood Omen. I like the Legacy of Kain series. My cat is literally named Kain after Kain from the Legacy of Kain. So I've only played the Soul River games though. But yeah, Blood Omen. Blood Omen. That's one game I want to check out on stream. Sunset Overdrive. I had that on my Xbox One, but after my recent debacle with Enchanted Arms, I fucking hate Microsoft so much. If I play my remaining Xbox One games throughout the years, and I have like SSX free on it, but after that, no, never again. I'd much rather pull up my 360 than my One. It's absolutely horrible. Then Ghost Song. This is like a Metroidvania, an indie game. I don't. What the fuck was this game? I thought it. Really? Okay, Steam just didn't show it to me. Funny. Yeah, where was I? Unsighted. You know, there's like a bunch of games I have. Then I have like Xenon Valkyrie, like a bunch of indie games nobody fucking knows, because why would anybody know them? This is a cool one, but there are like a few games where I'm like, oh man, I really want to play them, but I want to play them and show them to people who hopefully never seen it before. So it's like, you know, maybe in 5 years when I have maybe 10 people watching my streams, I want to do them, but it's like a show-off game. Speaking of show-off, I don't have that noted down here, but I talked about it just recently. Blood. It's also a show-off game. Something like that. That's are my requirements to play these games. I want to show. I really love them. I really love Blood. I think Harvest is just a fun game. I watched a bunch of streams myself and played it once before, but I don't remember anything about it, about how to solve the puzzles. Most of them, at least. But these are like the kind of games you kind of want to just show off. Then, Thrillwill. I loved Jerma's stream about Thrillwill, and Thrillwill was a game I had as a child on the Wii. So I'm like, oh fuck, I remember this game. So I want to play it. Ever since then, I want to play it myself. So I thought, you know, maybe also do it on stream. Could be fun. And of course, Cruelty Squad. Always looks interesting. It's like one of these games that I think somebody just made in Godot, who had like no game dev experience prior, and it turned out to be one of the most popular game when it came out. Well, so it became really popular, and it always looked cool, but you know, haven't sat down to play it yet. As I said, a Savant Ascent remix. I like the original. It's also a game I want to kind of show off, but I mean, I'm gonna remove the ones that's on the left. At least, let's not like this. You know, normal text editors just don't have any sensible stuff. Like here I can press, you know, Control E to go to the back and Control A to go to the Control A to go to the front. When you press Control A in normal editors, it's like pew, everything's selected. I can do that as well. It's just a different shortcut. I don't have too much time left, so I'm gonna try to hurry up a little bit. These are just games I potentially will stream. Yeah, you know, I don't say I will stream guaranteed. It's just something that, like the ones that I've written down for myself is like, oh yeah, these I think these could be cool. Doom 64, Drakengard. I just want to play the Drakengard series. It's a cool series, has good music. It's what Nier is spinned off from, so yeah, cool. Let's do it. Doom 64, if it works. Right, there was like a bit of bugginess to it last. Like I bought it, it was completely bugged. I refunded it. I just recently bought it again for like a buck. So yeah, Quake 2, as always. You know, Doom 64, Quake, Cruelty Squad. I wouldn't even say Cruelty Squad, but like Quake 2, Dead Linked. Sunset Overdrive is here already. Yeah, you know, like these like boomer shooters, right? I'm like a big fan of those, as some might have realized. My first stream coming back was a Medieval. Just recently I played through Sorge. Before my break, my long break, you know, with my stone that nobody fucking remembers, because I'm pretty sure nobody fucking remembers that. If you do, holy shit. Insane. There's one person, but they haven't showed up in a while, sadly. I played, what was it called again? Prometheus? Something like that? Let me see if I can find it really quick. It's under P. PPP. Proteus. So yeah, you know, I like my boomer shooters. I really do. I can remove Steam again anyways. Then Momodora, I really like the Momodora series. I discovered Momodora when the first one came out. Not with the Reverie of Moonlight or whatever it was called. With the big titty lady. Whatever, where you like fight her boobs or whatever. I was like an OG in that sense. And recently Moonlight Farewell came out. So more Momodora, hell yeah, let's do it. I played 1 through 3 Reverie and then this one. I think that's all. I once saw a video about this game. I put it on my wish list and I recently bought it because it looks, it's charming. This may be just like, hey, let's play it for like an hour or two and then decide. But it's an interesting game. Mark Echoes Getting Up. Just Google it. It's an interesting game. There's also a good video about it. Then of course, you know, Bioshock Infinite. Not necessarily the original ones. I already played them to death myself 2 or 3 times. I mean, but Infinite I want to replay for a while now, because I remember when I originally played it, I was like, man, I hated the game after the first half because it became just so fucking repetitive. But over the years, people were like, oh yeah, you know, Bioshock Infinite wasn't that bad after all. It was actually a good game. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, really? I remember it really sucking after the first half. Then Evil Within. That's a game I also, when it came out, people were like, oh, Evil Within, oh, that's fucking, you know, what is that? What's this? A Silent Hill knockoff? Ugh. Everybody was bashing it when it came out. But it's also like the view has shifted for a lot of people. So I'm like, you know, sounds interesting. So I bought it, and that's certainly something I will do. Then Sleeping Dogs. I had that game for a long while, but I never played it, like on Xbox, and I never played it. And recently I bought it on PC for like the definitive edition for like $1 or $2. Something, yeah. A lot of people say this game is really good. That's why I'm interested. It was like marketed as like Chinatown GTA, like the Chinese GTA. So I want to see about that. And the last one, I just recently bought that one. These are like ones where I'm like, yeah, this could be interesting to see, right? This is not final. These are not all the games I want to do, and then I'm never play any games again or whatever. Or not even, these aren't even games I'm gonna definitely play. And there are a bunch more that I probably will play before I play any of these, or most of these. Yeah, but yeah, the last one that I have just written down here for could be cool for streams is State of Decay. It's like a zombie game. I remember playing the demo way back when the first game came out, and thought it was an interesting game, but I never looked at it any further. But I know people really like it, except for like the third one, which is about to come out, because the studio is kind of, you know, those kind of people. Yeah, so that's games. Let's hide this one. I don't have too much time left, so I'm gonna hurry up a little bit. Web surfers. The first Web surfers episode, in my opinion, that I did, not the best. I kind of, you know, I kind of try to find my format, but Web surfers I think is a good format for the short streams. Because the idea behind Web surfers is, actually I have here a separate note, is I just pick stuff out of the internet throughout, you know, the weeks that I think is interesting and just show it off, or like give my commentary on. Like, oh yeah, I see like a video of somebody skinning a rabbit. You know, that's something. But in recent times, I just, there wasn't much where I was like, yeah, this is too interesting, or like this is something I want to show off. So it's, once again, it's something I might want to expand it a little bit, right? The original idea was just stuff I found interesting to show off / talk about. But I might want to extend it to news that is interesting. And just general bullshit. The idea is, you know, as long as I fill an hour, I'm okay with doing one. That's kind of the idea, right? Oh, I have actually one more topic stream idea to talk about. I have that in web surfers, but I think it works better as a quote-unquote topic stream. I watch VTubers, right? I watch a bunch of VTubers. Mostly through WOTS, because of time constraints. Or like, hey, I'm like looking, when is this person streaming? 2 AM, my time. Yeah, I'm not watching your live stream, especially if I have work the next day. Or sometimes I like wake up and it's like, oh yeah, streaming for started streaming 1 hour ago. I'm like, I'm not interested in watching a stream right now, especially since I'm right about to go out of my door to work. So yeah. But there's one thing I want to talk about, and that is thumbnails from PP. There's like one VTuber, I'm like, man, you have so much potential, but you're so stifled. And I think a bit of my own autism. I'm not autistic, but a bit of like personal autism I have is just because I've like enjoyed content on YouTube for like decades now. Not decades, but like my first contact with YouTube was in 2005. But my first like real exposure to content creators was maybe closer to 07, 08, something like that. But still, you know, that's still almost 10 years now. So I have a bit of a soft spot for this entire kind of genre of things. So when I saw this creator and how they do thumbnails, I kind of, it made me mad, and I want to talk about it just a little bit. So I think that could be a cool topic stream, or just, you know, a fun one for me personally. So yeah, that's web talking about web surfers. That's another Tuesday one. So as I said, topic is like, I need more preparations, and web surf is more like, you know, just dragging stuff together. If it works out this way, right? If it works out this way is debatable. I just need to pay a bit more attention, or just have like an RSS feed set up with hundreds of sources and just go through it 1 hour per week or so, and it'll work out a bit better. And the last thing I want to talk about is content, right? I said main game, of course. And maybe you don't do it a second topic stream if I just have something at the time. And etc. is, you know, as I said, whatever. Doing whatever. Stuff like this, like I'm doing right now. And last thing is content. If you look below the streams on Twitch and Cake, you see a thing that's called like a main YouTube or something like that, with my Dark Souls video linked to it. That links to my Dark Souls video. My original plan was 12 videos, 1 a month. It's May, I have 2 videos. Yeah. When I did the Vagrant video, I got so stuck on the script. I like rewrote it a couple of times, and even by the end I wasn't really happy with it. I just sent it. I was so in sunk cost basically, right? I just spent too much time on it not to make one, not to finish it. I have the same problem right now with the next video I want to make, which is a video about a movie called The Ring Thing. It's a movie I saw as a child, so I bought it, and you know, I like Lord of the Rings, and this is a fun movie that's parodying. It's a Swiss Lord of the Rings parody. I don't want to just do the thing where you just sit down, retell the entire movie, and then go like, and that's the movie, goodbye, right? I don't want to do that. I don't like that too much. There's this guy called Foundflix. All of his videos are called Ending Explained. He just tells you the entire plot of the movie, but he doesn't explain the ending. It's like, oh yeah, let me recap the entire movie, and I guess from that you can glean what the ending is about. No, you can't. That's not how this shit works. It's a bit behind my head, so let me scroll it up a little bit. So yeah, that's... I don't want to do that. So my approach to that video maybe is a bit... just using it as a springboard for something else. Like one of the notes here is, go into how the movie is technically an isekai. And then another note I have is, go into how parody genre has been usurped by YouTube itself. Those are like 2 things I might want to branch into. But I'm like looking at the script. Half of it I've like made a red and rewrote already. Actually, yeah. But that's something I really want to get behind. So, which is why this restructuring happens in the first place. I felt like I was spending too much time. Like, for somebody who doesn't earn money from streaming, I feel like I've started to spend too much time streaming and doing things around it. I'm like, you know, it doesn't work out for me personally. especially since as I said in the beginning of stream, there's so much I want to do, so much I constantly work on, and then you also have like just personal like a lack of motivation and like depression and just things getting in the way and me getting distracted by other things. And it's like everything is like fighting for time, and the way I've been doing things just doesn't work out. I'm like I want to change that, which is why I think I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. I got a bit too much into, you know, just doing the very lazy, I'll sit down and do a game kind of thing. I like that, right? Don't mind. I like that, but you know, it's a bit too much. Yeah, it's not the thing I wanted to do when I came back to streaming. I like had a plan, and it kind of took a bit of a backseat. And I think I kind of want to grab this and shove it a bit more into the foreground again. I have like a huge backup of video of past streams I want to make clips out of as well. Yeah, sit down and watch like 100 hours of streams and find like maybe 1 or 2 clips per stream at best. It's like, yeah, great use of my time. I still will do it. Like I watch the streams at like 3 times speed, but even then it's like 30 hours. It's like when do I find time for that? So yeah. I thought I had my trial run, but I feel like I'm currently in my second trial run. So that's like a thing I'm just kind of stuck on. I thought I had that still. Doesn't look like it. Otherwise I could have shown my stone. I really was of the opinion I have my stone somewhere. Let me see, maybe I have it in backup? No. Yeah, I don't think I'll find this. So yeah, to wrap it up, I'm already over time again. Form content. This could be an interesting video if I can structure it well. I think this could be a video that, if I do it well, it could pop off. Have like a little bit of a boost compared to the other videos so far. You know, the thing is, the problem with my main content, my main channel, I call it, just like the content channel, would be a bit better. But you know what I'm saying. I'm not too focused. YouTube hates that. People hate that. But for me, it's the way I need to do it, because I don't want to do just challenge runs. I would get bored after like 2 or 3 of them. I don't want to do like speedrun videos or, as I said, movie or game reviews, or just like recalling the games. Like, oh yeah, so let me sit down and just play through a game, or sometimes not even play through a game. There's a yeah, not even play through it. Just like read you the synopsis and show you a few clips while I'm at it. It's like, nah, I don't like that. So yeah, form content. I don't want to talk about too much about it because it could be interesting. I just need to figure it out. I've already wrote down a few notes for that one. This one came to me while I was like laying in bed in the evening. Just like scrolling a little bit through YouTube. I was like, oh man. I started to like drift off in my thoughts. I was like, oh man, that's a thing, huh? Yeah. Now that I look at things, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, cool. No. Let me think this through. Right, and I start to think and like shoulder notes down, and you know, this idea came out of it. So I'm confident in this one once I get to it. The mobile gaming. This one takes a lot of research, potential preparation, and just kind of memory searching. the idea behind the mobile gaming is like, I feel like there was like an interesting time in mobile gaming just when smartphones allowed apps to be downloaded onto them. There were like always the Java games, right? Or like before smartphones, there were the Java games, and they're like, they always were kind of like just ads, playable ads, I feel like. But when the iPhone, I think 3G came out, that's when they started to allow apps to be uploaded. That's when they actually added an app store. Before it was just, you know, our own apps and that's it. But I think with the 3G over the 2, the iPhone, that's when apps became a thing. And there were games people created for these low-powered devices that only had a touchscreen. And I'm not talking about Fruit Ninja, I'm not talking about Angry Birds, I'm not talking about actually interesting standalone games. Sometimes also ports, kind of, which I thought is extremely interesting. And this era is completely gone, I would say. Or almost gone. Because on one hand, smartphones are so powerful that some developers can just port their games onto the smartphone, one-to-one, done. And on the other side, it's like, hey, just put slop on there that generates as much money as possible, with like 50 million ads and like the most brain-dead gameplay ever. But for a while there was a little, and of course these games probably still exist. These like for mobile alone, really interesting titles. But most of them, I was like thinking about them, like, of course I'm not checked into that world myself anymore. At least I don't remember the last time I played an actual mobile game. But that's also a video I think could be interesting. Then Linux 101, I'm not sure if I will do that one. That could be a stream and not a video itself. It's just like an introduction to Linux for people who want to swap. In one I haven't listed here, but I think I might have. I thought I did a. I thought I shouldered that one down. Oh, here, there you go. So, the ones I haven't shouldered down yet, but there's a Lord of the Rings game that's really interesting called The Third Age, I think, for PS2. There's a GBA game by the same name, which is a turn-based tactics game, also quite interesting. But The Third Age is a JRPG. I really like the Game Boy Color Harry Potter 1 and 2 and the Game Boy Advance Harry Potter 3 games, because they are JRPGs. And Third Age is a JRPG with with kind of the mechanics of Final Fantasy X. One of my favorite games. So this is I want to make a video about that. I will play it on stream, of course, to gather footage as well. But I also want to make a video about that. And this one might be just like, hey, let me retell the entire story and show you the gameplay and whatnot. Who knows? Then of course, I want to do a Stalker 2 challenge run. Start making another video like the Dark Souls one. As I said, one thing, the Dark Souls video is really long. It took me a lot of time to make that one. It got no views. I don't want to repeat that, so I will try to do shorter content, right? I which has to do with form content one. I don't think I will ever go beyond half an hour again if I can avoid it. So I'm trying to keep my stuff lean, is what I'm just trying to say. So a lot of this stuff might not work out just for time reasons, yeah. Third Age. I want to do maybe a video about Enchanted Arms, but yeah, no. Oh, fuck off. My note-taking app is nice and all, but sometimes it's a bit dumb. There's some other games I want to cover. One is Holdover, which is an interesting game that for the longest time, I thought I played it right after I dropped out. Not right after, but like during the first year or so after I dropped out of school. And then I tried to remember it and find it, and then I found it. It's a bit of a fetish game, I would say. It's a very clearly a fetish, but it's also interesting. That's why I want to potentially cover it. This could be like a 5-minute video. I don't care. Then Prey is another game I want to play through. Not sure if I actually want to make a video about it, but it's an interesting game. It's a cool game. I certainly want to show it off, but that's also like a CCV 10 kind of game as well. So for the stream, but you know, for the video, this is just some stuff I jotted down. And one I wanted to do was like a cooking one, where I like do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But this is like very far-fetched. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's how stuff is gonna be. Schedule-wise, I will have a pendulum schedule. First week is gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, which goes short, medium, long, right? Short is probably gonna be a topic stream. Medium is gonna be like a sub game or just whatever. And Friday is gonna be the main game. And then Tuesdays is either web servers, topic, or etc. Friday is gonna be the main game, and Saturday is Dark Souls. So Dark Souls bi-weekly, but in exchange for not doing weekly, I will try to do like one run at a time, like entire runs. I should do it within 8 hours, right? I don't think there's any run that will take me longer than 8 hours. There are some, but I might, push them to the back a little. I said, these are the games I have like written down of that I think could be interesting to show on stream. These are some of the topics I might want to cover in the topic streams. Of course, these are just a few, and a lot, especially like the top 10s. These are easy to do, quote unquote easy to do. I just need to gather some stuff. The images and the rest of it is just free talk, which I'm not too good at, but these are cool streams. Just a bit hard to interact with chat sometimes, because you kind of go between talking about something, then, as I did today, but it'll work out. Web servers, I really need to figure something about that out, but that's like a series I want to do. That's something I really want to do. But I might not be able to do it, right? That's like a thing. And last is the content. I'll try to really get into the content right again. And maybe just, squeeze all the time. Really, like maybe I'll at some point, there's like a free day I will have soon, so I have like a long weekend. So I might sit down and be like, just bam, write like a full schedule for everything. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Yeah. That's it. Thank you. That being said, tomorrow is still a regular week of me just doing things the way I did before. So tomorrow, AI limit. I will play the game at the very least from like 8 my time, like 8 p.m. my time to midnight. So I will try to do like a 4-hour stream. Then Wednesday will be Manifold Garden. That's like a 5-hour game. And then on Friday, I will try to play God of War Chains of Olympus. Very, very likely Chains of Olympus. If I can't get it running or there's like some problem with it, I will either fall back on Savant Ascent or AI Limit if I decide that it's possible for me to finish it in one stream. Yeah. And I think, once again, thank everybody who joined in today, who came. 2 returning viewers in chat. This is a new high for me. Funny enough. I'm very grateful for that, by the way. I felt like, it's sometimes a bit difficult for me to manage talking to different people with different topics as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.